Welcome, this is Crime Queen. Okay, on this love channel, Self-Full channel, we are concentrating on self-full love. Okay, self-full love, self-acknowledgement, self-acceptance, self-discovery, self-identity, and what we can do about self-full love, what we can do to enable us to attain or maintain self-full love. So one of the activities that I thought I would look at today is from the Crimson Light, um, the Getting Onto the Bridge of Actualizing Self-Full Love, Volume 2, part of my journey. And it's one of the elders that I encountered on my journey of self-discovery. And one of seven elders, they are presence, truth, endurance, unity, faith, um, forgiveness, and conviction. Yes, I got them. Okay. Yeah. So I would love to talk a bit more about presence. Presence, yes. I remember many years ago walking into a conference, and I walked across the floor. And after the conference, a gentleman came to me and he said, "Wow, I have been wondering, who is this woman walking with so much confidence?" I was actually struck, I was shocked. Um, he had really caught me off guard with such a compliment. He said, "You walk with so much presence." And I'm not sure I knew what presence was at the time, but anyway, um, getting to know presence has been quite an insight. And we use the word presence, and we hear it all the time. Walk with presence, or this person, someone comes into a room, and all heads are turned because they are with presence. However, I also found out that presence has a flip side to her, because presence, as I say, is an elder and has been personified, if you like. Okay, so presence is wonderful. Presence gives us grace, beauty, love. Presence is around us and is readily available to giving us whatever we are asking, if you like, to accompany us on wherever we are going or what we are endeavoring to do or accomplish. Presence is really graceful. We have the other side of presence, which I call chatterbox. And chatterbox is perhaps more present with us than we can acknowledge or we care to acknowledge. Okay, so um, chatterbox, which I perhaps was more able to identify with um, on my journey. In fact, there's this wonderful story about my ex-boyfriend calling me Chatterbox, and that I could identify with. In fact, perhaps that was what I liked most about the relationship. It gave me a sense of identity at the time. On a more serious note, I am now, of course, enjoying the characteristics of presence. Now, if you have listened to my previous video on this subject of what we will do on self-full love, I also mentioned about numerology, my love for numerology. So presence, as the word presence, equals 40. Now, 40 as a number, that intrigued me because 40 is quite significant. And if you come from a Christian background, you will know 40 days in the desert and 40 nights, and Christ fasted in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. And the number four in itself now also is quite symbolical. We have four seasons, the four gospels, and the four rivers of Eden, and the, the four seasons. There are so many fours around us, four pillars or to build a house, or four corners of the earth. And so four, isn't that really wonderful that you could connect presence with four? That I thought was very symbolical and very intriguing. And I'm hoping that we can perhaps use uh, numerology in this sense to add more meaning to words when we can find a connection that sits so well with it. It's as if the word is speaking another language through numbers. It's as if it is presenting to us different formats that it wants to be recognized by. So we could always, whether we choose to identify with numbers or relate to numbers, or the word itself, um, which I feel perhaps there's something to be said about saying the word presence. And there is a certain frequency to the sound, which I can't tell you what it is, but I just feel that it's something that denotes a loving aspect. Again, it's what we focus on, the aspect of the word that we focus on, that gives true meaning to it. So I am hoping that we can permit ourselves to be able to extract from each word or from words that meaning, that we can use a word and intensify its meaning, knowing that it has so much layers to it, so many layers to it that we can connect with. So when we use the word presence, for example, we can feel to ourselves that it is in its entirety. It's something of totality. It's complete. It's complete. Like four corners of the earth. It's all around us. Presence is all around us. So it's that knowing that would help us to capture the essence of presence, knowing that we do not have to feel we need to be doing something extraordinary or performing some extraordinary act. Presence is always available to us at any corner of the earth, so to speak, in any season, if you like. Presence is available. And of course, later on, I will give you part of my poem on how presence has expressed herself. And as she says, I am the inspiration of your vision to be here. I am your inspiration. So, in that verse, presence is actually saying that she is always available for us. So, presence as one of the pillars, I thought I'd give you a little intro on presence and see, as I say, how we can use words to impact our everyday vocabulary or activities, whatever it is that we are meaning to achieve. And with presence, I hope I am giving you the warmest of presents through the crimson light. Blessings. Namaste.